Hey guys, welcome back to Papa Prepper. T here. Hope you all have had a good weekend. Here it is, 5 till midnight. It's almost Monday again. It feels like I just got off work Friday. But it's what it's like being an adult, I guess. Tonight I kind of want to get on. Well, I want to start off by saying my videos. I want my videos to be to where somebody's been prepping for 15, 20 years. You know, they might hear me say something and they're like, oh yeah, we better check that. But I also want my videos to be somebody that just started 6 months ago to be like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that. I want my videos to reach everybody. And I want to learn from everybody as well. That's why I always ask, if there's anything that, you guys do differently, or I would love to hear it in the comments. Don't worry about, I can take criticism, I can take ideas, I want it, okay? So with that being said, what I want to talk about tonight is, being a prepper. What I've learned, it's every prepper, to an extent, has paranoia running through them. Okay? And high anxiety levels. And basically, we're just a big ball of nerves. Okay? We're just sitting and waiting for something to pop off. Now, me personally, I hope it don't. I'm quite comfortable right now with the way I live. Kind of used to it. I like it. But I know, for the most part, I think we're ready. We'll be good for a little while. You can never prep too much. You can never have too much food, too much water. You can't. But when you get to that point to where, you're standing back and you're looking at your stockpile and you're like, I think I'm good for a year, and I'm not saying to stop prepping your food and water and, keep stacking it up, as much as you can. But what I'm saying is, once you get to where you're kind of like, you're starting to feel a little bit better, like, I think we got this for a while. That's when you can take that little bit of extra money or that little bit of extra time and start honing your other skills, okay? Because prepping and being a prepper is more than just running to the store and buying up food and water, okay? You can have all the food and water you want. You can have all the guns you want, all the ammo, all the, whatever. But if you're not ready up here to do that, it ain't gonna do you a bit of good to have any of it. Being a prepper is a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's a skill set. It's not something that can be bought. You can't. You can stock up. You can do that part of it. But if you don't have any skill, it's all in vain. Period. So, I'm going to focus tonight on what you can do with that little bit of extra time you might have now that you're feeling a little more at ease. Instead of sitting around waiting for it to pop off or being anxious or, use that energy to hone your skills, to work on different things. Different parts of the prepper mindset and lifestyle that you haven't done yet, or maybe you haven't even thought of yet. So one thing that I think, and we haven't done this yet, but set up your own grid down situation and see how long you and your household can thrive. I'm not saying go for weeks or anything like that, but just for 3 or 4 nights. Cut the power, cut the water, no outside assistance, just you, your household, locked doors for 3 or 4 days. Now I understand, you might have to go to work or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Because the longer, the longer you're in it, or the less amount of time that you're able to do it, you're going to be able to see what you need to focus on, what you need to work on. Say you don't even make it half a day or a day and a half, and you're like, oh, we forgot this. Don't give up. Don't run to the store and get it. Just see how long you can go without it. See how long you and your family or your household, just see how long you can rough it. Because say, SHTF, oh no, I forgot to get, well, it's too late now. So you're going to have to go on without it. So don't let that stop the exercise. Just follow through with it. And, you're going to write stuff down. So you know what you need to work on, what you need to improve, what you still need to purchase. If you find that there is things that you forgot to buy that you're going to need. Or things, just work on that. Work on your team skills, Not every family is going to be able to follow in suit and be a team. It don't work that way. We all know it. So work on that. If you got a little extra change, start working on upgrading your supply. Not your supplies, but upgrading your gear. I had in my live chat last night, a guy asked me what my EDC knife was. And for those of you that don't know, an EDC is an everyday carry. It can be your knife, your sidearm, your multi-tool, whatever it is that you carry on you every day. And I was kind of embarrassed at first, but then I later thought, there's really no reason to be, because when he asked, my EDC knife is a $5 folding Ozark Trails pocket knife from Walmart. But I've had that knife for 3 years. I've sharpened it once. It stays sharp. I couldn't tell you how many different things I've cut with that knife. It feels good in my hand. It's reliable, So it don't bother me really, I guess. That would I love to have like a K-bar or a SOG knife or, something like that? Well, yeah, of course. Do I own better knives? Absolutely. But for the one I depend on every day, $5 knife from Walmart. But anyway, work on upgrading your gear. Whether it be, adding another firearm or better knives, whatever it is that you think you can improve on, put that little bit of money towards that, if you think you're stocked up good. And like I said, I do not stop stockpiling food and water. I mean, keep stacking it. But maybe you can, afford to not stack as, kind of slow down on the food a little bit and focus more on this other stuff is what I'm saying. But yeah, work on your gear and learn how to use your gear. You could have an awesome, AR-15 or, a new 12 gauge pump shotgun or whatever, but if you don't know how to use it, if you've never shot it, you've never sighted it in, you've never even looked down, it's not going to do you any good. You can't just point and aim and hope for the best. Use this time to explore more into being self-reliant on your food. Because, okay, maybe you've got a stockpile that'll last you 2 or 3 years. Well, that's still going to run out. And if you don't know how to grow your own food, or hunt your own food, or fish, or cure meat, smoke meat, trap, anything like that, you're just prolonging the inevitable. Now, me personally, I can tell you, I've never trapped a day of my life. I've never set a snare, but I know I can fish and I can hunt and I can garden. You're definitely like, and that's some stuff you can add to your prepping list. You're going to want, I think I already covered that in another video, but you're going to want ways to plant and have a garden. Me personally, and I've talked about this too, I plant mine in buckets or big flower pots on the patio. Grows just as well as it will in the ground. You can grow just about anything. Corn is not a very good option in buckets because you'd have to have a lot of buckets. But any other everyday vegetable you can grow in a bucket. It saves water. It's a lot less back-breaking work. Easy to maintain. But you're going to want to have that stuff, already ready for this coming spring. If it happened to, you're going to want that stuff on hand no matter what time the SHTF happens. You're going to want that stuff at your disposal, because you're going to have to start learning. Hope to God you got enough food to get you through the first season so you don't have to rely so much on your gardening skills, because it's not easy. Some things are easy to grow. Potatoes, you're an absolute idiot if you can't grow a potato. Period. But you're going to want to focus on that, and chickens. If you can get chickens or rabbits, that's guaranteed food. Year round. Guaranteed food. Chicken, eggs, and rabbit. And they're pretty, it depends on what kind of setup you have for them, but they're pretty self-sustaining, really. Just make sure they have some water. And if they're free-range chickens, that's it. Make sure they have a little bit of water. This also be a good time to get your, if you had to, worst case scenario, bug out. Make sure you have your bug out vehicle ready. Like I spoke about this last night in the live stream. This would be a good time to make sure you got extra belts, a good spare tire, a full-size spare tire, not a donut. Tire patches, fix-a-flat, extra oil, extra brake fluid, extra power steering fluid, windshield washer fluid. Make sure the basic maintenance of your vehicle, you have enough stuff to keep it maintained for as long as you can. Because aside from your shelter and your home, you're going to rely on that car. That's going to be your way out if you need to get out. And you don't want to be spitting and sputtering down the road and something with a donut tire and the muffler hanging out the back. And you just don't want that. Okay? It's just, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm not saying go out and buy a big lifted truck with big tires and put, bulletproof it and everything. Don't go Hollywood on it. Just, if you have access to a four-wheel drive, of course that's going to be better. But if you don't, make the best of what you got. That's what a lot of people have to do. That's what most of us have to do. Go ahead and practice cooking at home, and doing your little DIY, say water heater breaks, the water line freezes up, whatever, fix it yourself. Don't rely on other people. For one, it'll save you money, and for two, it gives you skills that you're going to need, and cooking at home, and I'm just saying this, statistically, a lot of the younger generation, men or women, can't cook. Period. So you're going to want to learn, because there ain't going to be nobody bringing you food, especially cooked food. You're going to have to, start working on that. Learn how to cook. You don't have to be a chef, but learn how to cook basic meals, And like I said, practice doing it at home. Instead of the supper in a sack, work on cooking all your meals at home. Everybody eating at home. Just get used to it. and right there will save you a lot of money. I've got stuff wrote down here and some stuff I found on the internet, so that's why I keep looking up here. Oh, build up a resource library of any kind of DIY books, survival books, bushcraft books. Have a book that pertains to your specific car that you plan on bugging out in or keeping, whatever. Camping books. Anything that will help you learn skills that you can use out in the wilderness or a grid down situation. You're going to want that kind of stuff on hand. Of course, we can all sit and watch YouTube videos, but when time comes, are you going to be able to remember every video you watched and how to do everything? Just because you've seen somebody do it don't mean you can do it. Okay? So you're going to definitely want brochures, pamphlets, whatever you can find that tells you how to do things like that. You're going to want to snatch them up and keep a hold of them. This one hits personal to me. Continue, improve your physical fitness and your mental state. Okay, because a lot of prepping, as much physical as it's going to be a mental thing too. You're going to have a strong mind to handle grid down. It's going to be trying times, folks. And you're going to want to be in the best physical shape as you possibly can too. I know you look at me and like, well, that's, what is it? The pot calling the kettle black. But I'm starting tomorrow. I start the keto diet again tomorrow. I was very successful on it before. So tomorrow I'm starting again. But just try to, keep yourself maintained. Maybe, if nothing else, keep yourself as healthy as you are today. If you are overweight or out of shape, don't let it go any farther than it is now. And keep your mind strong. You're going to have a strong mind. If you haven't already, and a lot of folks are, I seen a lady last night on the live stream, bless her heart. She said they're going to stay at home until it burns down around them, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But if you have any intentions on bugging out, you best have a plan. If it's moving to Uncle Jed's over in Ohio or moving up to your mama's house in South Dakota, whatever, you're going to want a plan. You're going to have to know where you're going. Excuse me. You don't want to just load up everything you can fit in your car and have no destination. You're going to be a target. You're going to be a target anyway if it's that bad. But it's going to be worse if you don't have a destination. You're going to want to know where you're going. And you're going to want to have a good idea of what's going on when you get there. If you're just bugging out to a remote piece of property, you're going to want to know how to get the tent set up, how to get all this done, and everything you need to do in order to get as comfortable as you can, as quick as you can. That's just the way it is. And this last one, work on any skill you can. Like I said a little bit ago, you can go to Amazon or Walmart, whatever. You can buy the coolest stuff that you've ever seen in your life to bug out with. You can have all the fire starting mechanisms you could possibly buy. It ain't going to do you no good if you don't know how to use none of it. None. You can say, well, I watched so-and-so build a fire with a ferro rod. And, well, if you never tried it, you have no idea. It's not that hard, but it's not something you can just pick up and do right away. you're going to want to practice that. You're going to want to, if you don't have any idea how, you're going to want to learn how to fish. Learn how to hunt. Even if it's just going with your buddies, a couple weekends. And, whatever. You're going to want some kind of experience, some kind of skill. You don't want to have your family out and you reach your destination, your bug out location, you can't even put together a shelter with some tarps, or start a fire to get them warm. You might as well just stay where you was at, man. Or lady. Either way, I don't care what you are. You're going to want basic skills of how to build a fire, how to build a shelter, how to purify water, how to cook on a fire. You're going to want to know how to do this stuff, son. You don't want to go out into the wild not knowing a thing about it. And like I said, you should have stayed where you're at. And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not trying to scare tactics. I'm just keeping it real. If you go out into the wilderness and have no skills, you are not going to make it. Now, I'm not saying I'll make it. I'm pretty comfortable that, I think I'll be okay. I think I can keep us, happy. Well, maybe not happy, but I can keep us alive. But you never know what's going to happen. But I know I'm not absolutely walking out into it blind either. So, I think that's about all I got for tonight. I still haven't got an exact day and time that I'm going to commit to live streams. I'll maybe try to have that together tomorrow. And like I said, if there's something, you guys think differently or, any other ideas, just please leave it in the comments. I read every comment. Just leave it down there. And I'm not worried about, criticism don't scare me. I'm not, I can take it. But if you haven't already, go ahead and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you're feeling. Please, I'm going to ask you to subscribe and share. And until tomorrow evening, God bless each and every one of y'all. And thanks for coming back. And I will talk to you later. Papa Prepper out.